Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who this be, it's your girl Kyler B coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be doing our first recap on the Netflix series The Society. So let's get right into this video because there's a lot to talk about. Grab your popcorn, your snacks, whatever. This is going to be a video that's longer than normal, so hope you guys enjoy it. Society is a show based off of middle class, rich kids, high school teenagers, basically, essentially, who are supposed to go on this go to the Smoky Mountains for a week or two and come back. But while they're on their way to Smoky Mountains, it got canceled for some reason. They got dropped off by the bus, and now they're in a whole town alone by themselves with no adult supervision, anything. So now they have to form a society amongst themselves. Hence why it's called The Society. And it gives a little of that we are the next generation. We're the generation. So basically, like, going off of that. So to me, this show, as soon as I saw it, kind of gave me Lord of the Flies vibes. Like, I read the book back in middle school, and the book was essentially about a group of boys. Their plane crashes on this, I guess, island, and they have to, be a civilization, and you can either run the civilization like an anarchy or have rules set in place. So as soon as I saw the show, I was like, this reminds me of Lord of the Flies. Harry, Kelly, Cassandra, Allie, Campbell, Elle, Sam, Becca, Will, Gordy, Bean, Gwen, Grizz, Luke, Clark, Jason, Lexi. You got Olivia as well. That's about all the characters that I can remember at this point. So also, don't forget Charlie. Let me just give you I'm just gonna give you guys a rundown of things from episodes that are very important. So first episode, you got a play. There is a play. I feel like the play is important as well, because why even add that to the show? You know what I'm saying? So you got to play. I think it's based off of Hamlet. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. And it's Cassandra in the play. And there's this coin toss. 85 times, whatever. They just did a play, yada, yada, yada. That coin toss came back. Something that came later in that same episode, where Cassandra was like, random chance. You guys know what she said. Random chance, and she was like, it was keep on going tails, 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 tails. But in the play, it was like heads, 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 heads. So it's like, why would it say tails? Heads was good, and then now tails, meaning that is bad. And it was between Harry and Cassandra, but the audience, or the people who were around them, was looking at that going on. In the first episode, it was kind of like an us against them, like Harry against this rivalry between Harry against Cassandra. You got Grizz saying the Hebrew on the wall, the writing on the wall, that Hebrew sentence or phrase, which means the writing on the wall, that he knows that, and I think he tells Clark about it, Clark or Luke about it, and that's important to the show. Also, in this town, you don't have Wi-Fi. Like, what? You don't have Wi-Fi, no cable, no satellites. The only thing you can do is text each other. But how? But anyway, you guys can only text each other, and you guys really don't know how to survive. So Cassandra decided to put rules into place. So there's this thing about, we don't know who this guy is, but his name is Pfeiffer. So I'm just like, how no one puts that? That's the guy. That's Sam Yulee from the Twilight movies. Well, from New Moon and on. That he was the alpha of the Twilight movies. But I mean, that's just me. I know, I was like, isn't that Sam? But anyway, moving on. He's supposed to be. There's a theory. A lot of people making this theory that he's supposed to be the Pied Piper. You know, there was a smell in the first episode, the first scene essentially, that everyone's smelling. It was gone, but then it came back. Later on, it was like read that the parents didn't pay to remove the smell, so I guess Pfeiffer or whatever decided, well, I cannot have clean air if you're not going to pay me. So the smell came back. I don't know what smell it was. I don't know, but it was a bad smell. So that was the first episode. Well, not the first episode. Also, know is like from whose side, because I'm not sure, because I hear Sam's like Uncle Rogers, but who's uncle? Because you got Allie and Cassandra's mom are and Jim and I forgot the mom's name. Jim and something Pressman. So I didn't know whose side that their uncle or how they're related. Second episode, you got Fugitive. You got all other stuff. Now, I'm going to give you guys a character analysis on all the characters. So here was this rich popular kid who basically got everything he wanted, or, money can buy what he wanted, you know what I'm saying? And he had the girl, he had the, respect of others, all that other stuff. Then he lost the girl, lost the respect of others, and now he became depressed and became a drug addict. Kelly should have gave him a chance, because it was night when they had a party in the church of all places, and they're like, the church is open, quoting Jason, and some alcohol drink spill on some girl that he was talking to, and then he tried to wipe it off, and then Kelly just came up out of nowhere, and she was like, what? And yeah, she came out of nowhere, and she was like, what? And then I guess out of nowhere he just said, we don't own each other, or something like that, and she was like, what? You don't know? And then she just walked away. And then the next day, but then a week and a half went by, and Kelly was like, I don't know what's going on, and I'm not the same person I was 10 days ago. And Harry was like, I'm sorry, blah blah blah. But then I guess she was just always just dismissing him, and I guess it was just kind of getting to a point that he felt bad, but then again to a point that he can't take that anymore. Like, now Kelly, I'm gonna do character analysis. She was basically, it was just a role she was been giving. Like, how in the first episode, Will was like, I think it was the first or second episode, Will was like, we're all orphans now. So Will was basically, I guess, I wouldn't say the outcast, but essentially he's the literal outcast of the show. He doesn't necessarily live in West Ham. He lives a little outside of West Ham. He's not rich, and he's a foster kid. So Kelly, Harry, and everyone else were rich kids, and and Kelly was dating Harry since 10th grade, or even longer than that, and so it was like she was just following this role of being Harry's girlfriend. Now, when everything goes left, she is, and then like she kind of finds herself, and she's like, she was like very shy, like she didn't really like made herself known. A strong character arc, because she became Dr. Aldridge. Into depth with a lot of these details, because you just guys have to watch the show. All I gotta say is that Simon Says was cringe. The first time I watched the episode, as soon as Elle said something, I like literally fast forward past that part because I was like, nah, I'm not watching this. It was just too cringe. So I was like, there was a lot of cringe stuff. I mean, for real, there was a lot of cringe stuff in this show. But as soon as Elle said something, what the Simon says, screw, I was like, fast forward. Um, yeah. So episode 2 is fugitive. Simon says, mm-hmm. And there was this. It was raining, so it was a storm, and the lights. Everyone thought the electricity was gonna go out, but it didn't. So there was this rule to episode 3 was like, let's make everyone make all people stay in the same houses. Shared electricity, share the food, share everything. So Cassandra made that rule. Harry wasn't too keen about that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So Will, like, all you really know is that he's Allie's best friend. He's poor, foster kid, and he likes Kelly. That's it. You don't really have much depth to the show. You don't really have much of a character arc, really. And I guess that's what makes him, I guess, a boring character in the show. Jock is a great actor, but really, Will, people were saying that he's a flip flopper. I wouldn't say he was much of a flip flopper. I'm just saying is that he didn't know that he liked Allie to begin with. But I mean, he had a lot of. I thought he was kind of annoying when Allie kissed him, and then he just ignored her. The thing is, Allie liked him, and I guess he didn't reciprocate those feelings. So when he finally got with Kelly, and then this whole pie poisoning situation happened, and he was by Allie's side the whole time. Kelly was like, you love her. And he's like, what? I don't even know I love her. And he's like, yes, you do. And he's like, it's fine, it's okay. And the thing that made me laugh is like when he got into the bed with Allie was just like, what are you doing? Allie was like, what are you doing here? Like, what are you like? Get out of my bed. And then the next episode, she's like, what is that? What was that last night? And he's like, what was what?
Can I sleep here?
Bro, you got in my bed and like literally gave me not even an inch of space. He was like, I was like this, and she was like, what are you doing? That was just hilarious to me. I mean, I guess people think it was nice or whatever, but I'm just like, what's going on here? I always want to say is that Cassandra deserved better. And I mean, people think that she was annoying. I didn't think that she was annoying at all. I think that she was just trying to do the good. She was trying to, since she was already student body president, she already had this leadership mentality. She already has this older sister vibe because she is the older sister of Allie anyway. So might as well kind of be the leader. So people thought she was annoying because she was like, oh, who made her in charge? But you gotta understand, she's only doing what's right for the society. So I mean, I didn't think she was doing, but I think that she deserved better because I don't think she deserved those 2 bullets, man. No. Also, another scene that I remember from episode 2, that's when like the show started getting really good because I watched episode 1 and it was like, it's okay. And I watched another episode the next day and I was like, oh, okay. And then it was just so sad and funny at the same time when Elle got dressed up to go to the girl's house. She's like, I just want some company. And she's like, no, we're busy. And then she's like, okay, why don't you go ask your other friends? I mean, oh, whoa, I was like, that's cold. And then all they were doing was just playing a game. They were just playing a game. I mean, I understand it was sad. People wanted to beat Olivia up. In the show, Olivia. But I was just like, That was cold. It's a witch hunt slash manhunt of who killed Cassandra, which was Dewey. A lot of people think it was Dewey and someone else, or it wasn't even Dewey to begin with, but I feel like it's Dewey because because he definitely told Harry, he was like, I was doing you a favor. I thought I was doing you a favor. He didn't say, oh, you know, someone else did you a favor. He said, I thought I was doing you a favor. Because Harry was like, what weirdo would do that? Because the thing is, everyone's like, oh, Harry's a bad guy because he, wish Cassandra was dead. And he said some other stuff that was very, yeah, you need to, like, tone it down a couple notches. But, he didn't mean it. And I guess his words had a lot of, you know, he, like, had something to do with what went down with Cassandra being dead. And, that's really sad. I mean, if you know, please comment below. I would like to hear everyone's theories. Post-dawn raid was literally one of the best scenes of the show. That was just so funny because it was just like, it was like intense because it was just like, because everyone's like, pre-dawn raid, okay. And then Jason's like, it's like post-dawn right now. And then they had this whole raid, whatever, to get Dewey out the house, whatever. They got Dewey, but then they were like, we can't just, what we're gonna do with him. The thing is, what made me laugh is just after they got Dewey, Allie was like, oh, so can we put him in the bathroom? What? So you wanted everyone to get Dewey to what? To put him in a bathroom? But I feel like they did kind of force the leadership role on Allie. And one of my favorite lines from Allie is, I just wanted some tea. She was like, she just came downstairs, she's like, I just wanted some tea. She said some other words in before the tea. But I was just laughing because I'm just like, I had to pause it because I was like, even though it was just not a funny time at all, it was just like, I just wanted some tea. Then Grizz came upstairs and gave her cameline tea, which was nice. Grizz and Allie. I mean, what in Will and Allie, Grizz and Allie has like a nice friendship. Now let's get down to business. So let's talk about the Campbell and Elle situation, the whole relationship situation. Elle, antisocial, didn't really have anybody. And I guess Campbell felt that. He liked Elle, and he was like, I picked you because I want to protect you, or something like that, or I want to keep you safe, something like that. Something along those lines. And for the first 3, I guess 4-ish episodes, they were good together. And then, until he tried to drown her, which was like, what? And the thing is, the scene before he tried to drown her was just like, it was a plot twist, bro. It was just like, oh, okay, cringe, whatever. And then, try to drown you. And then after he tried to drown her, oh, I'll always protect you, or oh, I'll always keep you safe. And she's coughing up water. She's coughing up water, and she, I'm like, bro. And then you got the split screen, or the split conversation of Sam being like, Campbell's a psychopath. Like, okay, you got Elle living in a house with a psychopath, but you're not gonna do anything about it. Oh, okay, all right. No one's doing anything about it. They're just like, okay, he's a psychopath. Cool. That's it. Until, Allie hears that, when Dewey kind of ratted Harry and Campbell out, he was like, oh, let's arrest Campbell. There's no physical evidence. If you want to do things by the book or things by, order, you don't have any evidence against him. whatsoever. So obviously you couldn't, execute him like you did Dewey. It's like wondering, oh, which bullet killed Dewey? But it was obviously Allie's bullet or Allie's gun, because if Jason and Clark missed the first time, essentially they missed the second time. Was it Jason and Clark? Was it Jason and Clark? I just know it was Jason. It wasn't Jason and Clark. It was Luke, Jason, and Grizz. Grizz couldn't do it. Understandable, because, and it was Allie, Jason, and Luke. I don't know where Clark was at, but yeah, it was Allie, Jason, and Luke that, shot out Dewey, which was like, that scene was probably another intense scene. It was like post on raid. It was post on raid, that scene, because it was very intense. Very, very intense. But let me go back to the Campbell and Elle situation. Everyone's like, oh, he's a psychopath, and then they just write it off as that. Nothing else. Nothing more, nothing else. They won't say anything. But I mean, I feel like Campbell, he brings a lot to this show. Everyone wants, like, if they really wanted Campbell to die, they would have had him eat the pie right there and then. And everyone thinks that is because Campbell kind of flip flopped and been like, "Oh, we're gonna go to a church and have dinner. We're gonna and eat Thanksgiving dinner." But the thing about it, when I watched that episode for the second time, Elle was like, "I never had Thanksgiving dinner with my family. We just had something and that was it. We just had dinner and that was it. We didn't have Thanksgiving." So, Campbell was like, "What? You didn't have Thanksgiving dinner? We're gonna go to the church right now and have some dinner. I'm gonna have eat with the rest of the others." If she didn't say that, she would have had her little plan of poisoning Campbell with the pot. But because she said that, he was like, "What? I want you to experience Thanksgiving dinner as well." Blah 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 blah. People are saying that he doesn't really feel, you know, what he doesn't have any emotions. He doesn't feel and stuff like that. But I feel like he kind of does. That's the thing. Because when he found out that Elle was the one that poisoned everyone, accidentally poisoned everyone, wasn't an accident, but it wasn't. It was a planned poisoning, but it wasn't intended for them. It was just intended for Campbell. When that happened, he was like, "Oh, we're alike," and he was like, and she was like, "No, we're not. No, we're not." I feel like he found his sense of, he's not alone. He's not like he feel like he's like the lone wolf. He feel like he's the, he already felt like he's the castaway, the black sheep of the family, of course, but he just never felt like he was a part of something. Because even if he listened to when he was talking about when he had Thanksgiving dinner with his family, he said, you know, I could never feel or I could never reciprocate those feelings of being happy when we had Thanksgiving dinner, blah blah blah. He just said he could never feel those feelings. Like he actually expressed that to Elle. And like people might brush that away or brush that aside, like it doesn't really matter. But if it didn't matter, they wouldn't say that. They wouldn't put that in the show. You know what I'm saying? And I understand a lot of people are just like, he's a psychopath. He should get the electric chair. Peace out. That's it. But I feel like he has more to this story. And the thing about it, like other diagnosed, problems or whatever, obviously they don't just cast away everyone who has a diagnosed problem and then be like, okay, you're gonna go to the trash bin. But I do understand that he should be accountable for his actions of what he did to Elle and whoever else. Now, do I think he killed a dog? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because then again, what was he washing so intently on his hands when he was washing his hands? Because it definitely looked like his hands were red and it definitely looked like it was blood. So, did he kill Charlie? I'm not sure. But I don't want to like buy into that theory of whoever dies goes to the actual West Ham, or the actual West dies in the New World, goes back to West Ham. I don't really want to buy into that there, because if that's the truth, then Dewey, the girl who died from a snake bite, Cassandra, would all end up back there. So, and if at the end of the episode, Cassandra's name on the board, still about Campbell. Campbell's smart. He's very smart. Now I'm gonna just like a little analysis about him. So Campbell specifically chose Elle. He said that he wanted to protect Elle, and he somehow, I guess, chose Harry. I don't think, because you can tell that Harry and Campbell weren't really friends beforehand. So, like, they weren't really friends beforehand, so now they kind of are. And, Harry depends on Campbell for his drugs, because I guess he's the only, dealer. Campbell picked these two people. Elle was isolated and lonely. Harry was isolated and lonely because he lost his girlfriend Kelly. He feels lonely because even though he's in a house of 19 other people, he just feels like he doesn't have a sense of self. He just feels lonely, isolated, and now he's depressed. So Campbell picked Elle. He, kind of swooped in when no one else would. I mean, the only acknowledgement that she actually got from other people was that when she was dancing for Campbell at the prom, the girls who kind of turned her down when she tried to get some company was like, oh yeah, oh work it, whatever, something like that. But she was already with Campbell by then. Her and Campbell were actually, I guess, boyfriend and girlfriend now. So I mean, there's nothing much they can really do. Yeah, Harry didn't like being alone, and even Kelly said that, like, you're just afraid of being alone. But she still left him alone. When Campbell was like, oh, the drugs in the pharmacy, like the shelves are a little bare. That means he took all the drugs from himself, and the only way Harry would get drugs is from Campbell. So he's the only one to get the drugs from. The difference between the Harry and Elle situation is that Harry doesn't know he's getting played. He really doesn't. He doesn't know he's getting played at all. Because even in the last episode, when Kelly was trying to confront him, he's like, do you know what's going on? And Kelly was like, you don't even know what's going on. And Harry was just like, just, let it go. And Harry was even kind of astonished, like, when they were hitting, throwing rocks at Will and Allie, that he was, like, kind of astonished at, like, oh, snap, I didn't know this is what I was going to get myself into. And, like, he was looking at Allie, and he kind of felt sorry for what happened. Because he didn't intend for that to happen. He just wanted to have some control over his own life, and the only way he can get control for his own life is, I guess, him being the leader of the new society. So that was, his thing. Elle, she knows what's going on, because when she was kind of like telling that to Helena, she said at first she just thought it was like his way of showing love, and then she realized, being abusive to her. So Elle kind of knows what's going on, and I wouldn't count Elle out, because I don't know if anyone saw it, but when she was playing the piano at the end of the series, or not the series, the end of the season, she just had that look in her eye that she had a plan, or she was on a mission. She tried to be creative. Just like how Campbell was like, oh, if I killed Cassandra, I'll be more creative than that. Just like how she tried to be creative and poison Campbell. Didn't end up happening. Yeah. But I don't think they're alike at all, But the thing is that I feel like I thought Campbell caught on to her the second on her, because she was so suspect. So suspect. She's like, no, Campbell, no, no. Oh, let me just put it on the table. He's like, nope, I got it. No, we're going. Don't, like, I'm trying to do something nice for you. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, bro, can you be any more subtle? Like, what's going on? Anyway, so she was just sitting down there, and she was like, it just looked like she was like, Campbell was her dad. He was like, I don't want to go, and like Campbell forced her to go. Elle is that the thing about it, when it comes to Elle, Campbell kind of misinterprets her because, as he had that misinterpretation of we're alike, you're just like me, and she's like, no, you're not like me, or stuff like that. He kind of misinterprets her, but I feel like the reason why he's so much control, like had this hold over her, or feel like he should be in control over her, is because now he kind of depends on her. Because you kind of think it's like, at first you kind of think it's like a Bonnie and Clyde type thing, but Bonnie really, really doesn't really want to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bonnie doesn't really want to be there. In a sense, Elle doesn't really want to be in this relationship any longer. And Elle will be Campbell's downfall because he's very vulnerable. He's very vulnerable around her. That's the only he's very vulnerable around her. And only her. That's it. Campbell's very smart because, he had like these key phrases, like when he was like, oh, you split the baby, Solomon. And he told Allie, he was like, are you afraid of me? And she's like, nope. He's like, well, you should be, And like those little scenes, I feel like he's the puppeteer, he's the puppet master of the whole entire, not the whole entire thing, but he has a lot of reach. Like, I mean, like the thing is that Campbell, like, you think, oh, Lexi and Harry are basically the leaders. Nope. Because when Campbell kind of was like, if you're with us, you got to be with us, or you're against us, and and we'll show, he was like, or like he told Lexi, we'll mess you up, and he called her a buffoon. And in that moment, I was like, okay, Campbell has a point, because she kind of was being a buffoon. But I would say that scene with Clark and Jason was kind of like disturbing, or like, she has a right to be upset, you know what I'm saying? Because Allie dismissed. And in this show, it kind of shows you that a lot of people have flaws, and a lot of people are not your favorite characters. Like, the only person, I guess, that doesn't really have a bad flaw is Grizz, and I'm assuming Sam. Those are the only people who really doesn't really have much of a bad flaw. And people are like questioning, like, oh, what if Luke and Helena don't last because he lied to her? But if Helena figures out what happened, Allie and Will didn't try to overthrow the election, that stuff, she would probably believe them, stuff like that. I mean, the thing is, I guess she'll be upset with Luke for not telling her the truth, or at least trying to confide in her, to keep the secret. But just didn't work out. So I don't think they're gonna get married so soon, but I mean, I feel like they're still gonna go through with it. I'm not sure. He has an underlying story beyond oh, he's a psychopath, end discussion, that's it. I believe that definitely should have some accountable for abusing Elle, because that's definitely not right. I think that Elle will be his downfall. Elle will be the person who would, stop his, puppet mastering, because she did, when Elle spit in Allie's face and said, you will get what you deserve. She will be the one to get Allie out of the situation. Also, I guess people would understand why she couldn't, no one could have, Allie couldn't say the reason why she arrested Elle, because the only person that knew besides Allie that Elle was the one who was the cause of the poison pie is Campbell. And if Campbell knows and he's in power, not a good look. So, some final thoughts about this show. The show is really good. I really hope Netflix renews it for a second season, because it's really good. Oh yeah, this Pied Piper theory. Oh yeah, I feel like that's a really good theory that's probably a basis of the show, because you know how you didn't get paid, so and then they took the children against with going along the basis of the story, the Pied Piper, which you know they said that Piper, you know, Pfeiffer means piper in German, so I'm just like, and goes on that German folktale. So that's a really good story. That's really good like narrative to go base this story this basis show off of. Um I if you haven't watched this show, you guys really should, because it's a really good show. 3 to 4 scenes that were very, I would say, like very good, was Post on Raid, the scene that they executed Dewey, the pie scene, that was very and the last episode. Also, people are like it was very trippy because you see Allie and Cassandra's mom reading this Peter Pan story to a bunch of kids. And you see the dog, and you thought the dog was dead, but the dog is not dead. So, almost forgot who's the father of Becca's baby. Now, I believe it's Campbell. Just because. Why would she get so mad? Who else? I mean, it will cause a lot of drama, but why would Becca get so mad when Sam asked her, who's the father? Who's the father? And then, you know, Sam, I think that was really cool for Sam to be like, I'm the father. You know, that's like kind of great. I mean, as a friend, like, what friend would, you know, would do that? Like, that's a really good friend. But, you know, the thing about Luke being forced, he was, because when Jason was like, you didn't even call your own plays, and, you know, Luke was the quarterback, he's supposed to call the plays, but he's like, you didn't even call your own plays. And the thing is, Luke said that earlier when Helena was like, Allie's not even a leader. Why she gets to be a leader of the society? And you know, he was like, no, she's doing a good job. She's doing a good job. And he's like, it just, I mean, doesn't mean that she's a leader because it got passed on to her. But I mean, I can understand what she's saying, because she, you know, she's doing the best she could. So I mean, you can't really blame her. At first, Helena wanted Luke to be the leader, but he was like, no, Allie got it. Allie's fine. Then he's like, oh, I want to be the leader. And then Helena was like, why? Why do I want to be the leader for? Because, you know, 6 months has passed. You know, you kind of adapted to Allie being the leader of the society. So why? Do I think she's the best leader? No. But if I had to choose between Harry, Lexi, and us basically essentially just Campbell taking over, I would just pick Allie. Because, I mean, she's doing the best she can. Yeah, Bean's great. Gordy's great. Shout out to Jose. Yes. And, yeah. There's like, everyone's a great actor, of course. And, the show is really good, so yeah. So if you guys have any comments, any opinions, things that, you know, have more to say about the show, you can comment down below, let me know. And you guys can like the video if you like the video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna be doing more of these recaps, TV shows, my ideas, my opinions on a show. So if you guys want to see more of these, let me know. And thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.